Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erica and I am finally getting to this video where I am going to start showing the process of making the evening bodice for the Worth gown. This has been a long time in coming and I'm really super excited to finally show it off and get into this. This will probably be two videos, one for the mock-up and one for the actual bodice, but we will see as I get into the footage and editing it. I'm super excited to show it off, so let's jump right on in. Okay, so I tried to show it, but this really doesn't look like lace to me. So this looks like the same off-white tulle that looks like it's covering the sleeves. The tulle is the best thing I can come up with that would make this texture. So that is what I'm going with. I have some cream tulle left over from a previous project when I did Meg's ball gown from Little Women. So what I have done, in addition to what I showed a minute ago, is I have cut out a whole bunch. I love that you can't really see it, but a whole bunch of these strips that are 1.5 inches wide, and I'm going to pull out some of the fabric here. Hopefully this works. So yeah, there it is. So it seems to be gathered up a little bit, and then this stuff that I did a minute ago gets sewn on top of the gathered tulle. So my thing is, I can't really figure out if it's maybe 2 layers of tulle or not, but it looks like I might do 2 layers if I have enough. But I don't have that much tulle left, and I think, I don't know, it might need 2 layers. We'll see. But anyway, so I've cut out, I think 4 or 5 strips. They're all wadded up into a ball currently. Good thing they don't fray. 1.5 inch wide. I will sew them together and then put this on top of whatever I decide, and that to me looks pretty close. So this particular part of ribbon that the black ribbon is going through, I had to improvise. I couldn't find anything, so I went to the craft store and this is what I found. I knew I could work with this top portion, so I measured out a little bit more than what I know I'm going to need and cut this particular layer off. And I'm going to keep the rest of it because, I mean, it's still really pretty lace. That's hearts. It just doesn't have that top part now. So yeah, sometimes you do what you got to do. So that is what I have figured out for this portion. I have done a whole bunch of the cream cording for around the flaps here. This is a double row of cording all the way around and double row of cording around the waist. The other preparatory thing that I have is I still had 3 leftover covered buttons from the daytime bodice. This is the evening bodice. But that wasn't enough. I needed like 3 or 4 more. I've got to space it out and see. So I had to order 1 more package. So those came yesterday and I need to cover them. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is working on patterning it out. I don't honestly see this being as challenging as the other one, but we'll see. Okay, I have a basic pattern drawn out. So this is going to be the back piece. As you can see, I've already pulled it down some more. So I'm going to cut it at this line. This would be the back neck edge, the shoulder, because this is going to be off the shoulder, the side, front is divided into 2. So this being the center front. The crazy thing about this and what I've had to work with is every other bodice I've seen from this time period, this is one big piece and there are darts here. I don't see any darts, and there is a seam that is this weird down like this. So that's what I'm going to go with. I would say it was a dart, except it goes all the way up very clearly into that edge. So that's what I'm doing. So that's what this weird thing is. So I made my marks here so I can line them up correctly. Obviously, this is just a very, very basic and very first sketch. I have no idea if this is correct or if this is going to work. I'm going to have to cut out a mock-up and put it together and see. I already know that I'm going to need to extend the waist a little bit, maybe 2 inches. We'll see. But I wanted to go ahead and get this started. I used the same pattern that as a base that I did for the redo of my wedding gown, and then changed it up some. So at least I had something to work with. So these two are relatively similar pieces, other than taking this down, and then this I taped the darts together and then drew on it, cut it, and then resketched it. I hope that makes sense. The thing about this particular bodice, and I think one of the reasons it took me so while to dive into it, is I cannot find a rear image of it. I can't. I have dug and dug and dug and dug on the internet. I cannot locate one. So it's anybody's guess as to what the back looks like. Because the buttons are on the front and they are very clearly functional buttons, I have to assume that there's a chance I could cut this on the fold. Either that, or I'm not sure whether it'll work better to have a back seam or on the fold. I'm going to start with a seam and then we will go from there, because I want that dip. The best I can figure is that it probably has a similar neckline to the front, based off the fact that this trim goes the way it does on the picture. But again, I don't know. So we are just going to go with what it looks like on the front and work from there. I do not believe that these flaps are on the back because the back still has the bow. So I'm not going to put them there. I have not sketched out these flaps yet. That will come later once I see how well this fits. Obviously, I still also have to sketch out and figure out the sleeves, but I will figure that out once I get this part of it correct. Same with this. So next thing is to cut this out and put it on the mock-up and see where we are. Okay, so this is mock-up number 2 and I've already altered it. The first one was actually pretty close for me just sketching. I did have to move this seam and I forget exactly what I had to do. Oh, I had to move it down here too. I've got all the pattern pieces and then I adjusted them and cut out new pattern pieces. And then I've already had to adjust this mock-up. So I did a quick dart here, but what I did, I'll go show you in a minute what I did with the pattern piece. But I had to take the back seams in about a 1/2 inch. And yeah, I didn't really have to do much to the second mock-up. I'm pretty happy with this. That's the seam. So it's coming down, it's wrinkling here. Obviously this is going to have some boning in it when it's done, but there's a 1/2 inch seam allowance on the bottom, so that's going to turn up. There's also a 1/2 inch seam allowance up here on the top. The thing I'm not sure about is I don't know if I'm going to be able to wear this chemise with this outfit because of the neckline. So there's a chance I'm just going to go get a tank top when I actually put this on, because there is no way right now that I'm going to make another chemise. This is the second one I've made, and just for one neckline thing, I'm not going to make a whole nother one. Maybe eventually, not now. So yeah, the other corset that I made that is slightly smaller than this one comes down just a little bit lower, and I might have to use that one. This is pushing it with the where the lace sits, but I don't know, I might be able to get away with it. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this, and I think that I can go ahead and start on the actual fabric at this point. That ended up being a lot quicker than I thought. But I do want to go show what I did with the pattern piece here, because there was a lot of gaping right here that I needed to take out. And again, I'm going for flat pattern pieces, so let me walk in there and show. Okay, so for this adjustment, I don't actually want to put a dart there. So I cut it, a straight cut down to right at the edge there, and then slightly overlapped them and taped it down. And that makes it flat, and that gives me the adjustment there that I want. So, on to cutting. Okay, I have to go fix supper, but I wanted to say I got everything cut out. So here are the pieces for the decorative flaps. I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to use this cotton that I used for the mock-up, or to test out the size, because it's really thick, and this is going to be sewn with the cording, and it doesn't really need it. So there's a chance this is just going to go, but I needed it for cutting out purposes. It will be lined with the same lining as everything else, but in case I put the cotton with it, just in case. So that is now in the pile of cut out pattern pieces. We have the sleeves, which I have been playing with for the last couple hours, and I figured them out. As you can see, I've got some ironing to do here, but the lining fabric that I purchased for this project is at its end. This is what well, okay, I lie. This is what I have left. And I am very much hoping that this is enough cording. If not, then we're going to be eking cording out of this. Because there will be no waste here. So to get the sleeves, obviously, I had to piece it. But this is the lining, so it does not matter. I am not going to put the cotton in the sleeves. There's no purpose for it in there. It will just bulk up the armscye seam, and I'm not going to do it. So I have the 2 lining pieces, and I have the 2 outer sleeve pieces. Now the sleeves appear to me to be covered in a cream tulle, so that's what we're going to go with. It looks like it's yellowed a little bit according to the picture. Yeah. Anyway, there's a chance this is also going to be a little bit too long. But what I did here for the tulle is I cut the pattern and then I took it this far all the way to the fold because there's going to be a lot of gathering. So that is cut out, and the next thing is to start piecing, and my battery's about to die and I have to go fix dinner. So I will see y'all later. Okay, that is where I'm going to stop the video for this one. I've got a ton more footage of the actual construction of the bodice, so I'm going to go ahead and start editing that. But for this video, which I really did want to make because I myself really enjoy watching other people go through the mock-up process. I think it's very fascinating. So I wanted to put this video. I'm going to get the second one up and the reveal as quickly as I possibly can. And I hope you stick around and like and tell me what you think at the end of it. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.